Lucky Lefty podcast. Shaun Davis, the Onora boys in the building, the original Lucky Lefty himself, Malik Zaire. Brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. It's that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, make sure you do so.
Responsibly.
Marcus Freeman is meeting with the media for the Tennessee State game. Left, this show is dedicated to letting things develop. LL question of the day. What didn't you see on Saturday that you have become accustomed to seeing from Notre Dame? What didn't you see on Saturday that you have become accustomed to seeing from Notre Dame? I got a couple of things I wrote down. We'll get to it. Don't forget, each and every day, audio edibles. The post-game show is up now on CFP Nation. Tap in. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Home of the Misguided Passion. Great content. Leave your comments, leave 5 stars. YouTube, smash the like button for us, man. We appreciate it. It's the Lucky Lefty podcast. We did it different. Number one on my list. Notre Dame never came close to getting a delay penalty out of a timeout. Notre Dame could actually come out of a timeout, have a play, and not have the play clock run down to almost zero. Eureka. Left. Who knew it could happen for Notre Dame? Who knew? Heck, they barely got down on the play clock just in regular action.
Yeah.
Man, beautiful thing to see. We see our guy Ty 8, young guys on the field. Hey, young players, young wide receivers. Matt Racky, a quarterback going through progressions instead of tucking and running.
Or at least throwing it. They was throwing it.
We did
Saw
see
it, flipped it, didn't hesitate, looked comfortable doing it. We didn't have to act surprised after we completed a pass on third down. It was just standard operation. Guy caught the ball, got tackled, got up, tossed it to the ref. We ready for the next play. It wasn't like, man, we passed it. He looking at the ball and man, I caught this thing and we still going. We didn't hand it off. You know, the whole crowd standing up for a full applause because we got a first down. We didn't hear any booing for the first time in a long time from getting penalties out of timeouts, like you said. I mean, it was a very it looked like one of them games you didn't see from one of them other top teams. A standard procedure where it's just high scoring. They just out there just making layups, you know. Great to see.
Something else. Notre Dame actually threw for 250 and 4 touchdowns. It did not complete a pass to a tight end. How about that?
How about that? How about that?
Matt Herrera. Thanks, Matt. Finally putting the opponent away.
Finally.
I
mean, put them away. Tucked them to bed. Didn't let any life come up out of them. Nail in the coffin type of stuff.
What do you know? Is this the first game where the tight end was probably the fourth read for the quarterback?
Yeah. He didn't look like the major player of the offense for the first time in a long time. He looked like a nice contributor, somebody to help the run game be more effective, whereas we were confused to where the tight end was the major player in the pass game and not as much help in the run game. Now they're a lot of help in the run game, and then they'll catch their one-offs in the pass game, but we got action for that, which is a standard procedure of a pretty good team anyway. We were nuance in the fact that we just used our tight ends more in the past, and they happen to be, pretty damn good too. So, interestingly enough, for us, we're finally getting on the right regular frequency of what good teams usually do. Good teams usually have a great outside receiver game, a great quarterback that can operate, get it done. The run game looks sufficient and efficient. Our run game happens to be a little more better than average. We happen to have an ample amount of running game from a variety of different ways. We can be versatile. We can be power. We can spread them out and run. We can do a lot of different things. But also on the pass game, now we got somebody that can operate on the outside the hashes. Now we got somebody that can give defenses something different to look at in preparation every week. Now teams got to be like, damn, well, can't load the box for sure now because we might give up 40 points. So we got to have a balance of when we're going to pressure Sam, when we're going to try to take away the run game. Now they got to think a little bit more. Usually teams stop game planning for us about 2 days into the week because they know what we're going to give them, and we're not getting off of that. Now it's just a matter of, are we physically going to be able to stop them throughout 4 quarters? Now teams got to get a beat on us. They know we're going to put some power run in there, but when it's time to spread it out, do we have the right coverages mixed with the right blitzes? Because Sam not, you may get a free shot, but Sam not going to take it. So he might avoid it. He, me not saying he's Lamar Jackson, but he can get away from some pressure. He's not going to stand in there and just take shots like we've seen other quarterbacks take before. He may not be Ian either. Because Ian will try to, Sam is going to buy time. He's not a create play type of guy. He's buying time. I'm going to just step over here a little bit. Now I see you. Now I don't. I'm going to hide behind the guy. I'm going to get towards the line, give you a couple pump fakes maybe. But I'm not looking to get the yards myself. I can dump it off. I'm going to dump it off. Something we haven't had on a consistent basis from a guy that actually throw it. Hell, Ian wasn't throwing it. He'll get out the pocket and then not throw it at all. You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Sam getting out the pocket and everybody's looking open. You got guys standing wide open, just like, toss it. That's a great feeling because now teams are off balance. They're like, oh my goodness, we thought we had him. And then we come back with the run game on a fresh set it down. So this is what the vision of what we wanted from the offense for a long time because we've always had those pieces. We've always had those, even with Ian, had the pieces. We need the right guy to pull the sword from the stone. And Sam looking like he's en route of doing that, or at least giving us the consistency we've been looking for. It looked easy.
Yeah.
It looked comfortable. It looked like, oh man, whew, I'm not worried about this third down. I think we'll get it.
So we said the key is that we want to come out healthy from the Navy game. We want to come out healthy from Tennessee State. Marcus Freeman, as I said before, is meeting with the media now. He just announced that Gabriel Rubio has a knee injury at defensive tackle, and he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. So hopefully they get him back for the North Carolina State game.
Yeah, I mean.
So Tyson Ford, hey, this is opportunity left. This is opportunity. You've been saying it. They said they're going to play the youngsters. Tyson Ford, some of the freshmen. This is your opportunity. Donovan Heinrich, who has been, Donovan Heinrich had a great spring.
Yeah.
Didn't hear too much about him during the fall, but he had a great spring. Hey, this is your opportunity. Make an impact. And Tennessee State is a great game for them to get reps. It's a great game.
Tennessee State is a great game to get reps. And I think, another day to flush out some of the details of your scheme.
Yeah.
because you know you're gonna get whatever you want. So this is about being specific and particular about how we're shaping up for week 4. Let's not be uh, naive to the fact that in the midst of everything, we still need to be preparing for the things we really like through these first 3 weeks that we can lean on going into a big time game where bullets are flying. We need to go to things we know. And I think we've seen a little bit of that with Sam. You've seen some plays that he probably ran out of Wake Forest that translated pretty well over here to us. He was able to make some great adjustments. And it looked like he was comfortable because he probably knows the plays from the previous plays, which is cool. Make sure you build that and flush that out and be able to get ready for when you get into week 4 because that's coming. That, let's go to the one you were comfortable with. TCU, get back on track. TSU, get back on track.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that JT touchdown. Let's try that. Just formationally make it a little different, but
Yeah.
still let's hit the same concept because you're good at that concept. That's your concept. Ohio State's not going to give you 15,000 different looks. They've always played the same. They've been pretty top down, and relied on their front four and all of that. So for us, it's not like we got to reinvent the wheel. Sam's seen just about every defense you can pretty much want to see from a fifth-year guy with the amount of numbers that he has. So I think that's really good for a guy like Jared Parker, who may come up with new things every week. That adds to the playbook because he knows Sam can handle it.
What percentage of the playbook do you think they actually used on Saturday? It seemed like they were real simple with the game plan.
Probably 20%. I think they did more on designing different runs.
Mm.
That you had the two tight ends kind of offset back
Yeah.
wing thing that is new. We saw that a little bit, but I don't think we'll see that next week. So I think there's more design in the run than it was in the past this week, just because they're probably like they're going to play pretty basic and play off. We run our easy stuff that we're good at. Now moving forward, I don't think we'll do anything differently this week. I think we're still trying to not show everything in the first 3 weeks, really, just because. I mean, North Carolina State, we play them third game, right?
Yeah.
I think we'll start heating up more of a scheme, what Sam is really good at. North Carolina week, these first 2 weeks from a strategy standpoint, I'm Marcus Freeman. I'm telling Jared Parker, listen, if we can beat them on 10%, let's beat them on 10%.
I think North Carolina State has a really good secondary.
Yeah.
North Carolina State has a really good secondary. So I agree with you. They're probably going to hold back some stuff for North Carolina State because that's the game where they're probably going to see a little bit more man,
stacking up,
a little bit more man, and a little bit more mixed coverage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But then it's also why it's even more important in these first 3 games. First 2 getting ready for the third, that we really work on designing the runs to make it hard to just do what you want on defense on a secondary level, because you got to get those secondary players involved in run support. I know that those teams, Ohio State, North Carolina, probably looked at our game so far and was like, damn, they got 5 running backs. That's something to think about,
right,
as a defensive guy, because any defensive coordinator in the country, first thing is, how do I stop the run? And if you got a great offensive line and 5 running back, not just how we get killed with the backup running back, we got backup running backs. So that is a whole project within a week to worry about in of itself, outside of adjusting to what we've done better in the past game, which I think makes it hard for teams to get a jump on us week to week. So for North Carolina State, yeah, their pass coverage is definitely better than average and definitely better than the first 2 weeks. However, they're going to have to do something about our run game and support that as well, which makes it a little tough because now we're stretching.
Yeah.
You can't just assume that we're going to throw. You might have to have one eye in the backfield, one eye on the man, because you got a trigger. Because they trying to collapse and bounce the guy outside or whatever. You got to be able to rally. You got to get off the block, or you got to be patient and make sure he don't take off on you. You know what I'm saying? So I think that'll add a little mental, psychological stress. But that just shows you how versatile and open our offense is that when you got the guy that can manage the and operate in the offense. Like a guy like Sam Hartman, he's seen everything. He's got enough reps to where he's comfortable. He knows who he is as a quarterback, and you just give him everything at his fingertips. I mean, hell, that's hard to stop.
Yeah.
That's hard to stop for anybody, even with good defenses.
So, from the mind of the offensive coordinator, that's what you are. You talk about Jared Parker allowing things to develop. 20% of the offense against Navy probably comes in with a similar game plan against Tennessee State. Really only opens it up or begins to open things up a little bit more against North Carolina State week 3. North Carolina State was one of the teams that gave Sam Hartman a little trouble last year.
Yeah.
They mixed up coverages, like you said. That secondary covers very well. Wake Forest didn't protect Sam Hartman that well. Now that's the difference with Notre Dame's offensive line. I think the protection will be a lot better for Sam Hartman. So I don't think he's going to have trouble. He might have to use his legs to kind of climb the pocket, things of that nature. But like you said, North Carolina State will be a challenge. But North Carolina State is going to have a lot of things. It's going to be a lot of holes in the wall. And when you think you got this one plugged, there's another hole popping open over here, right? So you're trying to stop the run game. Here's the pass game. You try to stop the pass game. Oh, they haven't used the tight ends the first 2 weeks. Now they're using the tight ends. Running backs out the backfield, which we saw. Estimate with the automatic. We saw Jeremiah Love with a catch out of the backfield. It's just a lot that we've seen from this Notre Dame offense in a limited viewing experience of one game that could be a possibility against the big teams as the games get tougher down the stretch or as they go throughout the schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. You're the more film you start getting on us, obviously you can keen on certain things that we're doing, but I just think that where we are from what we are able to do now and where we can go with this, I mean, you can't get much better, I'm telling you. And I think we're gonna really start to see how we can flourish in the importance of our skill players, importance of our running backs. You can see the individual talent flourish on the field through the offense and what Jared Parker's putting together. Defensively, we're only going to get better. We saw a lot of the old guys look like they got a new sense of spirit, new energy. They're playing fast. Now, going against a different standard of an offense, we're going to go against more traditional offenses moving forward. How do we react to that? Is Mary still going to be flying in the backfield? Is he still going to be able to get in that pass? How's our pass coverage going to look, honestly, tested? Because you got to, I toss out what you saw last week because our defensive secondary isn't going to be not expecting people to try to throw it over their head. I mean, you think it run, and they throw it over your head. It's like that's not the standard strategy for a traditional offense. So we're going to see how our secondary actually gets tested, these next weeks leading up to Ohio State. So it'll be interesting to see how these same guys that we saw some flash, Kaiser, JD, Maris, DJ got to step up hugely. D-line looked all right.
DJ Brown, a.k.a. 10-yard fight.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so when we see what this looks like against a team that's going to run some passes and try to spread us out, that's the concern we had about last year. It's easy when everybody's keeping it real tight. TSU's probably going to try to spread us and option us to death and get the athletes on the outside. That's the thing that always concerned me anyway. And I want to see if we've gotten better at addressing that issue. Because JD in space is JD in space. So is JD in space technically technically better? or is it the same JD in space? Because anybody fast on the outside, if you can't get there, you can't get there. It don't matter if it's Alabama, TSU, or a community college down the street. Throw a dude the ball in the open field that's fast. Can JD make the tackle or not? Because it's really a one-on-one thing. When you running through the gaps and you blitzing all that, okay, we get that. But now teams are going to be like, let's see if you can make the tackle outside. Can you get off the block, get there? Or you're going to get ran around the edge. So that's where the youth is going to have to impress me with. Let's see if we can address that issue. I feel like TSU is not going to be foolish and try to run inside. They're going to be like, let's spread. Let's do what Cincinnati did. RPO, go deep. So
here's a question. Andrew Gilmore, we appreciate you. Later in the game, the Navy cornerback finally jumped the route and nearly picked Hartman. Do you think teams would jump shorter routes until we beat them deep?
Sam's going to throw picks. That's just a part of what comes with it, because I don't believe that he has a strong enough arm to fit the ball there, even when the read's there. And then it just comes down to, defense is going to make some plays on stuff like that. I think Sam is confident in the fact that he knows what he's good at. So, he's going to take short. You may jump one, and then he's going to take a shot. I mean, you don't get 12,000 yards from not having a routine. So he's got his way of doing it, and teams that catch on, but he's sticking to his game plan. And I think with that, it's fine, because you got to expect he's going to throw some picks. It happens every season. He's probably going to be in the double digits, but we're going to have a lot of attempts. We're going to have a lot of attempts. So hopefully the other side of it is 40 touchdowns and maybe 8 picks. That's a great season. You got 4 already. I think you can add 4 more next week. 2 more. Maybe North Carolina State. 3, if we really trying to do something. And then Ohio State, I got to see 4. So that first 4 weeks, he should have about 16, 17, right?
Yeah.
If we're going to beat Ohio State, he has to have 4 passing touchdowns, in my opinion.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. He's got to have 4. Because these are red zone touchdowns. I think Ohio State would be stout in the red zone, and I think it's going to take and require us to pass those and get past.
Well, Notre Dame had 6. If I'm not mistaken, they had 6 drives on the Ohio State side of the field last year.
Right. And
whenever Tyler Buckner, they were able to move the ball.
And in general, when you're playing top tier teams, the top 3 or 4 teams in the nation, they're usually stout in the red zone. So in order to do something with that, you're going to have to be able to throw the football in the red zone. Michigan couldn't do it against Georgia. In the red zone, they can move the ball. Hell, every team, if you're really good, can move the ball. But the teams that are elite, the Ohio States, the Clemsons, Georgias, Alabama, hell, LSU, you're going to have to throw the football in the red zone. And in my opinion, to really beat this team at home, we got to have 4 passing touchdowns. Got to. So you take 4 there. I'm sure you'll probably get maybe 2, hopefully 3 against North Carolina State. Get you 4 against TSU to get you in confident mode, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's 8 the first 2 games, and then 8 the next 2 games. That should be about 16, 17.
Yeah.
Right on pace. Now, I'm sure you're going to have 3 or 4 picks littered within that. Hopefully they're not at the wrong times. You don't want it to be at the game winner and, something before half. You try to throw a Hail Mary or something. But that's just the statistics, the numbers on Sam Hartman. I'm okay with that. Because I know that we have a run game that can always support it.
Yeah.
You got 5 running backs. And to keep them all there, I mean, you definitely stretching the ball a little thin, giving each guy a series. You would, against better teams, you might have to put Aldrich in a little longer than just 2 or 3 series. You know what I mean? Just to get him going. So that might take a guy out of the rotation. That's why I was like, how is Jeremiah Love going to be 4 fourth guy in there? You gonna play him over Jabron Payne, or who was the leader of the spring? So where's Devin Ford come in at? And
Yo, Jeremiah Love had a run in the fourth quarter, bro. Well, he did a jump cut. He ran to the right, was patient, let the hole develop, hit a jump cut on the safety in the hole, then drug the tackler like 5 yards, and was still trying to stand out of the tackle before Nady Gang tackled. I was like, oh, you cannot keep this kid. His talent left.
So who's he playing over?
It don't matter, left.
See?
Eventually, he's going to surpass whoever. Aldrick is number one.
Darren Price is number two.
He's too talented. Remember, people asked us on the post-game show, are they going to keep his red shirt? What? How do you shelf that talent? How?
Because who are you going to play him over?
But he's only going to be here 3 years, bro.
Who is he playing over? He's got to play. It's four good guys. Aldrick, you said, is number one. Jadarian is number two.
He is quite possibly, physically, the best running back in the room. We just talk physical talent.
I'm not giving that.
You out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
Jadarian is the most
out of your mind
right now.
You're out of your mind. Jadarian's running style is totally different than Jeremiah, bro.
Yes,
totally different.
I agree. Yes.
Jeremiah
runs more like Zach Branch than Jeremiah Love. Than Jadarian Price does, but Jadarian Price is more of a running back style.
Okay, even though they play two different positions, the similarity between him and Zach Branch. I'm telling you, go watch this fourth quarter run, bro. When was the last time you saw Last time I saw a Notre Dame, maybe Kyron. Because Kyron can hit a nice little jump cut.
Kyron is a little thicker.
But he's more explosive than Kyron.
Yeah. No. Kyron's more of a.
But that's the fact that we can argue. The fact that we can sit here and argue about the second and third or fourth running back being the best.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what do you think them teams are doing? We got to prepare for Jeremiah Love. No, Jadarian is the guy we got to prepare for. See? But you can't forget about Aldrick. He's the number one running back. And he's like, damn, they got pass game too. Who we going to get? Deion Cosley, or you going to stop JT may pop on the scene, but you got Chris Tyree in the middle of the field, and it's a lot to think about. We arguing about third and fourth running back. And who's going to play over who? We still haven't answered.
It's crazy, bro. It's absolutely amazing. I saw that run and had to run it back like 3 times. Like, Notre Dame running backs don't do this. Like, he's special. Man, please. Burn that red shirt. Burn it.
Who are you having a tough conversation with?
Who?
Who are you having a tough? Somebody's not getting the football in that running back. Is it Jabron Payne you're telling it to? Are you telling Aldrick move over?
Let me be the tough conversation guy. I told you I'll have the conversation with DJ Brown.
That's an easy conversation. There ain't no tough conversation.
Hey, if need be, I'll come down and have a conversation with Devin Ford, Jabron Payne. Like, hey.
Okay.
Hey, look at here.
What you telling him though?
I need y'all to stand up. That seat you've been sitting in all fall in camp and early in the season, we're gonna have you switch seats. That's how you do it. You bring him into the running back room, because Aldrick's in the first seat right there by the film. Then you got the other Jabron. I'm gonna need y'all to switch to the other side.
Yeah. Sit next to the Gatorade cooler.
Yeah. Go.
I need a little space right here because I need him to see this. He got to see this one time.
We got a new seating chart to get today, fellas. A new
Yeah,
seating chart.
we're trying this out. We're going to try the seating chart out.
New seating chart. Jeremiah, I'm going to have you come up here next to Audrey.
Just called you up here. You know, I wanted to be a little
just to see how it goes. Just to see how it goes.
Just see how.
Devin, DeBron, y'all still kick off. Don't worry, y'all still kick off. Y'all got y'all seats in the special teams room.
That's what I'm saying. They got the special team.
But hey, come on, man.
Yeah, it's just it's getting hot. See, that's a room that's hot.
First of all, Jadarian Price's touchdown. The hole was about this big, dog.
Yeah, I mean,
no one touched him.
Hey, somebody, you still got to run through it.
And he ran through it.
And he
okay. That run, once again, this dude showed patience as a freshman, hit a jump cut in the hole, left the tackler, hit the next tackler, drug him, and then spun out of that tackle until he got game tackled. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
We can't keep him on the bench, man.
Come on, man. I mean, look, I'm not mad at either room. I'm just saying for a freshman, I haven't seen that at Notre Dame. I've still yet to see Jadarian Price hit somebody with a jump cut in the hole. I haven't seen it. But I saw a true freshman do that, and I'm sitting up here like, okay. All right. And I'm sure as a true freshman, he's going to have a moment, a freshman moment. He missed the blitz pickup.
Yeah.
When Hartman completed the pass out to he missed it. That's a freshman. He missed his pickup. That's probably why he didn't get back in and probably to fourth quarter. Right. Because you can't do that. But I don't know how long they can hold him off, bro. I'm just saying. I have no clue how long they can hold him off. We'll see. Lucky Lefty podcast. So, look, check this out. Marcus Freeman has some things to say after the game. And this is what he said about his running back.
We had planned to get out all the running backs in the game. And I don't know if coach pulled him out just because he fumbled. It was a pretty long run or something that he had. But we wanted to rotate all those guys. You got to be unselfish, man, right? And there's one ball, and there's a lot of talented individuals, and this is just week 0. And that's what you have to be able to do is have a team that are full of unselfishness. And it's hard. It's really hard. But I think Coach McCullough has done a great job with that room in terms of making sure they understand before the game. I mean, that's the worst thing to me you can do to a kid is tell them, hey, you're going to play and you don't play them. Right? And the ability to say, hey, all 5 are you going to play? They all played. It's really a great job by Coach McCullough. But you're going to have to be unselfish, man. And Audric is a great example of that.
He's saying that now.
Hey, Jabron, I'm going to have to be unselfish. You hear that? You hear that?
He's saying that now, but listen.
Did you hear that?
Listen.
They're going to have to be unselfish, dude. He's laying the foundation. Hey, number 12 is coming. Y'all going to have to be unselfish. The coach laying the foundation, love.
He understands that he got a lot of talent on his hands in that running back room that he can't lose through mismanagement of putting them out there. So he got to say he got to play all of them. But at the end of the day,
you know who has to feel crazy? Absolutely crazy. Like, I can't win for losing. Logan Diggs leaves, right? So the perception is, oh snap, Logan Diggs is gone. And the fact that that cat Devin Ford left the running back room that he left at Penn State and thought he was coming to a better opportunity.
But I don't know how he thought that. I don't know how he thought that though.
Devin Ford probably thought, oh man, Logan Diggs is gone. Man, this opportunity in Notre Dame.
I don't know how
Nope.
he thought that. We've been
No,
having
sir.
running backs for a while.
No, sir.
I mean, he got in the game though. So I mean, you know, he got in the passing situation, which I think would be his spot because you know, Aldrick I wouldn't really care for to be running no routes. And then Jeremiah Love is still young. So getting him involved in third down passing game with protection possibly, Devin Ford may fit that role. Because I don't think either one of the other ones can really do that just yet. Maybe Jadarian get in there and catch the ball, pass block. But that's why he's number 2 to me. Jabron Payne is just where is he going to find his role, you know, throughout this? Because he's not another Aldrick. And he's a volume running back. You got to give him the ball more than just a couple times.
I'll tell you this. They all better be lucky that Jeremiah showed up in the fall and wasn't there in the spring.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
can tell you that.
That's fair.
I can tell you that. Because if he was there in the spring, crazy, bro. Now, the offense and what Hartman meant. We talked about the LL question of the day. LL question of the day for those that are just coming in. What didn't happen on Saturday that you had become accustomed to seeing with Notre Dame football? What didn't happen on Saturday that you have been accustomed to seeing when it comes to Notre Dame football? We had a list of like 7 to 8 things that we went over, but this is Marcus Freeman talking about what he saw from his offense and his new quarterback.
He told me today this was I think the 48th or 47th game he's played in, right? I think he's started 42 games. This moment isn't too big. And it's about him going out there and just executing. And what I really, really thought he did a great job was putting our offense in a really good position to execute the play. There was a couple calls that we had that was depending on what the defense was showing. We were going to check to a run, a pass, or a certain protection. And just to hear the communication of our coaches to making sure that Sam is putting our offense in a great, just really a great situation to succeed was really good. I thought just the overall operation of our offense, the ability to run the ball helped Sam a lot too, right? We talked about yesterday in our team meeting, the greatest friend for a quarterback is the ability to run the ball. And that was something that our offensive line and our running game did a great job of doing today.
Left, you pointed out.
Saying, thank God I got somebody that can operate the computer, that can work the TV remote. I'm tired of us coming in here. We got everybody in this dang house. Nobody can know how to work the TV remote. All these buttons. We don't know how to do DVR. Don't know how to find the movies to rent. Can't get to the fight on pay-per-view. Can't find it. It's 9,000 channels. Nobody know how to work the remote. We finally got the man moved in. He out here doing everything with the remote. Turning on the lights. We didn't even know you can do that.
Pulling the curtains back. You doing everything, huh?
He ain't got the clap on.
Entire house working off the remote. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That's beautiful. He'll come and fix the sink. The man that did it. He said it's just good to have that man, that handyman on task. And then I forgot, we got guys that can support him too. We got a running game. But man, it sure is good to have that handyman on task. He know how to do everything in the house. Everything worked. We got the outlets working, you know, hot water flowing. This man got the TV jumping. Everybody's favorite show is on recorded, DVR. I don't even got to do nothing. I just see that red light just cut over. I know my show record.
That cat Marcus Freeman. Marcus Freeman is like the Fresh Prince, bro. That Mark went from the hood to having Jeffrey cooking for him every night, opening the door.
He ain't going hungry. Yeah, he ain't going hungry now. Ooh,
he don't know what to do with himself. Like you come from Philly and all of a sudden, what? Yo, G, what's for dinner? Yo, G, like, can you answer the door? Sound. Yo, G, can you run down to the store and get that?
Right away. Okay. We can do that.
That cat Marcus Freeman is the Fresh Prince.
That's right.
That's amazing.
Refreshing.
What, as Notre Dame fans, are we bugging, bro? Because it's one game. But we are really sitting here like, oh my God, bro.
Yeah. It's one game, but it's more than one game. It's about the
operation. It is refreshing.
It's the operation. Operationally, it was a comfort where you was also interested. It wasn't like you was like, man, I'll check back. We checked back after the first half. We got 7 points. It was like, man, I might miss a big play. I might miss a big run. I might miss a well-designed play call and the quarterback execute real nice on a down and distance where most of the time we wouldn't show up. We don't have to work through the starting slow and guys lining up wrong and you missing wide open easy passes because you're nervous. It's amazing when you can feel the poise and the comfort from your quarterback. I bet you Alabama fans, they cut on Alabama last year. They was like, man, it's all right. We got Bryce Young. I can feel the comfort through the TV that we're going to be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Watching Sam Hartman, you felt the comfort through the TV that we're going to be straight. Even if he may get sacked, I know we're going to have a play that he's going to execute. And he gonna see the guy I'm looking at on TV wide open, and I know he's going to throw it to him. Half the time we screaming at the TV, we seeing dudes open, and the quarterback has no idea where he's at. Now it's like, okay, I see JT open. I know Sam's going to find him, touchdown.
Yeah.
That comes through the TV. Sam, that Dove looking good, man. His hair never got out of poise or nothing. That brother was just the whole time just suited and booted. Looked like a quarterback out there. Didn't look like he just had his first shave yesterday. The man was right. He looked like he fits right into what we've been trying to do, what we're looking forward to doing in the future. And it all came together just right.
Hey, let's get a listen from the starting quarterback.
With what Coach Freeman said, just hats off to our coaches. We've been prepping for Navy. We know, obviously, from last year, what a challenge they presented on defense. And, again, part of it's their players and a lot of it's their scheme. And so I think we had a great plan and we went out and executed it. Not really to any of my abilities. It was more guys around us, like Jaden Grayhouse here, who's a freshman out there making big plays, just no moment's too big kind of deal. And then really it starts up front. I had a lot of time to go through my reads, progressions, and felt comfortable. So it really just starts there.
Apologies for Barris Leah fouling the shot right there, trying to get a Head and Shoulders commercial. He thinks he's Troy P. I'm trying to fix his bun.
That's right.
But no, Sam Hartman, man. I think it was the third quarter. And scored the 5th consecutive drive, and he went to the sideline. And he was sitting in the midst of the other quarterbacks, and he took a moment to look up. And I think that's when Sam Hartman realized, like, yo, this is different.
Yeah.
Like,
you see a big old trophy.
I think it's going to hit him really when he plays Ohio State. But even in the midst of this crushing Navy, he had a moment where he looked up and was like, looked around the stadium and was like, this ain't Wake Forest.
Oh, he knew that on the 8-hour flight to Ireland. This ain't no Wake Forest. And I do think that at the end of the day, Jack Cohn threw 4 touchdowns in the first game in dramatic fashion.
Yeah.
Almost better, almost a more impressive showing for a first game. With the situation, he was getting subbed in and out too. I mean, let's take a step back and appreciate the maturity it took for Jack Cohn to be able to be productive with everything included, making it work, playing good in spots, hell, great in spots.
Yeah.
So that standard's still pretty high. So Sam, great job. But Jack Cohn even had a first game that was a little more impressive. I know that Sam's going to produce more great games in the future. But I do like that comfort that he did give through the TV. It felt like, we had all the right pieces finally. Maybe not the best piece in the world, but we got the right ones to win some football games.
Lucky Lefty podcast, audio edibles each and every day. Post-game show there right now. Apple Podcast, Spotify. Home of the Misguided Passion. You already know how we do it, man. We spin it different. It's the Lucky Lefty podcast. Defensively left. Marcus Freeman was happy with his defense, but he admitted, as we talked about, Navy came out and did some things that they just didn't see or expect.
Year, really the third year for Jack being in that similar position of being linebacker, then being a safety, then doing some different things. He's a reflection of really what the entire defense did, man. And I'm really proud of him because what you saw in the first half was offensively from Navy. We looked at everything we could find. I'm talking, we looked at Kennesaw State. We looked at everything we could find, and they ran some things that we have never seen. And so the ability to hear the coaches say, okay, write it down, draw it up, let's adjust on the sideline, and then go out there and implement it. I mean, that's what's more impressive than anything. And so Kaiser played well, man, 8 tackles, I think, and he's a leader and he's a senior, but man, the adjustments our defense was able to make were tremendous.
Well,
I can rock with that.
It takes a lot to even get in Notre Dame on a adjustment level. You got to be able to be versatile and think on your feet anyway. So I know from a preparation standpoint and an adjustment standpoint, we got the right coaches for it. I mean, if anything, this is where our defensive coordinator comes in his specialty, and that, yeah, you may not be a great recruiter, but you sure as heck better be a great adjuster in the second half, or scheme or football defensive coach when it matters, because we know that we're picking up on the recruiting slack for you. But Al Golden, we know that we need to lean on your expertise to figure out these schemes and adjust to it the right way, because that's what you also are really good at. And with that, I feel like, yeah, we'll be able to step up to those challenges, and we have a great enough team that's smart enough to be able to implement it and apply it on the spot, not just something that you got to rep, for whole weeks at a time.
That's one of the things that Al Golden talked about. For him, he feels like he's going to be better, specifically game planning for teams week to week in his second season at Notre Dame. That's yet to see. I mean, that's yet to be seen. We'll see, especially starting against North Carolina State, what he has for Brennan Armstrong in that Wolfpack offense. But we mentioned it yesterday. Other than DJ and Cam Hart getting beat, Thomas Harper got beat late on play action. I thought the Carter kid, the transfer, played really well. Ramon Henderson played really well.
Yeah.
In the second half. As Marcus Freeman said, they got out schemed early by Navy, and it allowed Navy to hit some things. Once they adjusted, I mean, they held Navy to 2.7 yards, man. 2.7 yards. I don't know what else you can ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know what else you can add. You know Navy's gonna run the ball 40 to 50 times. And the bulk of their rushing yards came early, like we said, when they just out schemed Notre Dame and were getting unbalanced lines that had Notre Dame over committing to one side. And that was that.
And that was that. Yeah.
That was that. I see the question. I don't understand the question. What happened to Benjamin Morrison? I don't understand the question.
Mm.
I saw Benjamin. I mean, he played, and then just like every other starter, Christian Gray and Jay Mickey came in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And he went to the sideline.
Yeah, these games are about getting reps for the whole team. You know.
Yeah. I was just making sure because I don't.
My charger.
I don't think Benjamin Morrison. He didn't. I mean, they didn't throw the ball at him.
I mean, we're playing Navy. This team runs the ball 90% of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you were expecting from Benjamin Morrison against Navy. Heck, anytime Navy dropped back on that 9-yard line, this is how bad they didn't want to throw the ball to Benjamin Morrison's side. They threw the ball to Cam Hart's side all night long.
All night long.
Or the safeties on that side.
Yeah, they went after. They always try and Cam Hart.
They were on the right hash, dropped back, and tried to roll out to their left, the Cam Hart side, on their 9-yard line.
They're trying to do anything they can to get him.
Anything to throw away from Benjamin Morrison. So Benjamin Morrison wasn't going to get any action.
He probably won't get any action until Ohio State. I mean, serious. I mean, come on, serious action. He probably won't get until Ohio State.
No, Brennan Armstrong is one of those stupid quarterbacks. He's one of those gunslingers he'll try him. He'll try him. He just will. He just will. That's just who he is as a quarterback. He's just one of those dudes. I bet you I can get him. All right. He's just one of those dudes, left. He just is. Bro, I've watched him play since. I remember the first game I watched him play is when Virginia had that hot season and they played Illinois in Champaign. And I'm watching this dude. You know, you just had one of those charm seasons where you throw balls up and they're 50-50 balls and your guys come down with them. I'm sitting there saying how Illinois should have like 4 interceptions right now. I'm watching the game. So even when things were going his way, I always felt like he just puts the ball in harm's way too much.
Way too much.
Way too much. So, and yeah, they do have a good OC, but the OC is not on the field processing. He's a quarterback that go back and watch film from last year. He puts the ball in harm's way, bro. I don't care how great he had. Think about all the great offensive minds Brett Favre had. that were on the Mike Holmgren. Andy Reid was on that staff. Moose was on that staff. He had all these great offensive minds, and none of them could stop Brett Favre from putting the ball in harm's way. I don't care what they call. That was just his nature. He was going to put the ball in harm's way. That's who he was as a quarterback. Yeah. He was going to try it. Your boy Spencer Rattler, he's the same way.
But he got the arm for it. You know, he gonna try. He got the arm for it though.
So now we're saying Brett Favre didn't have the arm for it.
No, Brett Favre had the arm for it for sure. But I'm saying when you have the arm for it, you're gonna put the ball in harm's way naturally, and it's okay.
And it's just one of those things. So he'll try Benjamin Morrison. The Ohio State quarterback would definitely try Benjamin Morrison because of the wide receivers he has.
Yeah.
They legit have 3 first-round wide receivers that are going to be starting.
Yes.
I'm talking about Ohio State.
Yes.
3.
That's generally every year they got that.
I venture to say Caleb is going to try him because Caleb tried him last year.
Yeah.
Cade Klubnik, Riley Leonard. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, Benjamin Morrison will get his limited attempts coming up. Heck, the Tennessee State quarterback might just get bold. Who knows?
Yeah, it might just get bold. Yeah,
he might just get bold. Last but not least, before we get out of here, great show. If you missed the beginning, Malik talked about developing the offense up to North Carolina State, the building blocks, and how Jared Parker is going to do that along with Sam Hartman. But last but not least, we saw a lot of freshman wide receivers get on the field.
That's right.
Jaden Greathouse had 2 touchdowns, and Marcus Freeman said he saw it in the fall, but it was good to see them do it in live action.
You know, consistently do your job, especially at that position, and you'll be in a position to be rewarded. And Rico Flores played well, right, in his first, college experience. But sometimes when you play well at the wideout position, you don't always get those rewards. And so to see Jaden Greathouse go out there and score 2 touchdowns today, it's a reflection of hopefully what Coach Stuckey has done with that room, because I think 4 wideouts caught touchdowns today, right? And Greathouse had 2 of them. And that room is continuing to improve. The protection was good. And so I think that's going to be a great momentum builder as we get ready for next week for Jaden.
How does the young buck stack his chips?
This is a hot take. Because most people will say, man, I love the trio or the quartet of receivers that are freshmen, right? The crazy thing is, Notre Dame has had more talented freshman classes than wide receiver.
Yeah. Yeah. I would
That's
say
great. And that might sound crazy. You go back to the Brian Kelly era.
They have some receivers now.
Especially around 15, 16, 17.
Yeah, EQ was a number 1 receiver. He was 6'5", ran a 4.3, can do everything. Chase ran a 4.3, 6'5". Miles ran a 4.3, he was 6'5". Will Fuller running a 4 whatever. DeVaris was a top receiver. TJ was pretty solid. Chris Brown was a consistent one. Corey Robinson was a special find. Torrey Hunter should have got some more burn. Receiver wise, we had him. Amir played receiver for a little bit.
That's what I'm saying.
caught a couple touchdowns, and he was receiver, running back. I mean, hell, I mean, what didn't we have during those years? Our tight ends were good. Ben Koyak, Troy Nicholas, Durham Smythe, who's still the longest active tight end playing. It feels like
It is
we had
great.
dudes.
It's great to see development.
Yeah.
That's my point. It's great to see development. It's great to see youngsters out there getting ticked. Salute to Chancey Stuckey.
That's right.
Everything he's doing with the youngsters at the wide receiver position. Hey, man.
Hey, did you see how big Cam Williams looks?
What are you talking about? I've literally been next to Cam Williams multiple times.
I mean, like in the pads, because I saw the highlights of his first. Man, he looks huge,
bruh. He is a man amongst boys.
Yeah, like he
was a man amongst boys in his junior year.
Man, he looks good in the pads, man. I'm like, oh my gosh.
They're gonna have the same problem in the wide receiver room. Somebody gonna have to go to the other side of the table when Cam Williams.
But who? Because now, I mean,
hey, I'm just saying.
Who are you talking to? Who are you going to talk to?
Hey,
because I mean, whose card you pulling?
I'm just telling you, Chancey's gonna have to.
Who is he go? Who is going to be the guy that got to fall on the sword?
Chancey's gonna have to look around the room and say, "Hey, I need y'all two to go to the other side of the table."
Two? It's gonna be two
at some point. At some point, I'm trying to tell you.
Man, where Aeneas Williams at? That's my guy. I want him to play too.
Hey.
He gonna be in there too.
Okay.
It's somebody gonna. Okay. It's gonna be a lot of transfers. It's gonna be a lot of transfers.
How long did it take our boy? Our boy showed up on campus in Columbus, and wide receiver coach had to have that conversation. Like, hey, I'm gonna need y'all.
This is a different situation though.
What do you mean?
Like our running back room these are different situations because all of our running backs are starters, pretty much. But you got the young bucks that you're trying to insinuate moving out. Who though? Just like the receiver, you're gonna tell Cam Williams, you're gonna tell JT move over for Cam Williams.
Left.
Because the bias is still telling people to move over, and he can't even get the ball. And he open.
Left. What we're not about to do. What we're not about to do is we're not about to compare.
Okay.
Running back and wide receiver, two different things.
Yeah.
Running back, they've been running with the ball in their hands their whole life. That's what it is. Here's the ball.
Here's the ball.
Go do what you do. Nobody in that running back room runs like Jeremiah Love, bro. I know it. You know it. The dudes in that running back room know it.
Who is he talking to? That's all I want to know. Who the tough conversation being dealt to? That's all I'm saying. Because somebody gonna have to get it.
It doesn't matter who has to move. I don't care who has to move.
Oh, it don't matter for you.
I don't care. When Will popped, did y'all care who had to move?
But Will was but it was
different. Hold on. Will Fuller popped halfway through the year.
It was different.
When he popped against Michigan State, what was the conversation? What was the conversation, Love?
It was different.
Here we go. How is it different?
Because Will, we didn't have anybody like Will. In the respect of what we were trying to do down the field. Like, we have down the field threats.
Who?
Tobias.
Okay.
Rico Flores. Jayton Grayhouse has been a down the field threat, even though He's not as fast. Him and JT, not as fast, but they are considered down the field threat. We got guys that can push down the field, maybe not as fast. I mean, but we got a fast, tall dude that we can't get into now.
I'm gonna need Sam Hartman to get his deep ball grip.
So it does matter who it is. You're not gonna move Tobias over for Cam because Tobias like, damn, I'm still trying to get mine.
I said it yesterday. Tobias would have popped if he was at Notre Dame.
If he was with Will,
if he was with your era,
it would be.
He would have popped already.
Yeah,
he would have popped already.
He would have been 3 and out. Now he got to spend another year patty caking with guys down here, but
yeah, he hasn't played with a big arm quarterback yet.
That's just what it is.
His speed needs a big arm quarterback. It might be CJ Carr next year. It might be Minchie. It might be Angeli. But he's yet to play with a big arm
either, do he?
Well, I
ain't seen it. I mean, seriously, like, does he have a big arm? I don't know. Because Kenny got a strong arm. He ain't got a big arm. Kenny got a strong arm. And CJ, man, why don't we recruit? Deuce Knight got a big arm.
Yeah, he needs to reel that
big
back.
Arm guys anymore. Dang, was I the last me, Shaun, and Ed?
CJ has a decent arm. CJ has a decent arm. Deuce Knight, Deuce has a cannon.
Okay. But I didn't think Sam had but I wasn't expecting Sam to be doing that, So yeah, Cam is gonna be right. It's just who you talking to? Who you gonna talk to?
You keep saying who you gonna talk to. What do you mean?
You gonna tell JT to move over for Cam?
Is there no one in Notre Dame has established themselves as a star? What are you talking about?
JT's kind of a star.
Say what?
We talking about for the Notre Dame football team? Yeah, JT is considered a top player
by who?
by the where the ball goes.
Man, this is the Lucky Lefty podcast, man. We are not like these others. What are you talking about right now? JT is established himself as a star right now. According to who?
Chancey Stuckey.
He's a star receiver
of the room right now. Who's our number one receiver right now?
I mean, we just talk about the pecking order. Okay, yeah, he's the number one receiver, but he's not a star receiver at Notre Dame. What are we talking about?
How would you define?
We back in effect now, boy. Your boy didn't finish treatment. We back in effect. Season has started. What is going on, man? Are you getting
so you're saying our number one receiver isn't a star? How do we have a number one receiver that isn't a star? How do we have a receiver as number one that's not a star?
Then we just established on the post-game show that USC has a freshman receiver that's better than anybody in our wide receiver room.
But he's the one of the better in the country. Him, Evan Stewart, they're in the country.
So we don't have a star receiver yet. No.
He's not the only star, though. Zach Branch is not the only star on the field.
You're talking about for his team.
And Zach Branch may be the highest star next to Caleb on the field, but he's not the only star on the field.
See, Brian Loftus said he's a rare talent. That's my point.
Yeah.
Cam Williams is a rare talent. Jeremiah Love is a rare talent. Dude, we're not trying to figure out who's got to get up from the seat and go to the other side of the table. Just move.
Oh, you just
move. That's it. Okay. That's it.
There's a team management aspect you have to think about.
Unfortunately, we don't have a star receiver. Unfortunately. Could one develop this season? We'll see. But right at this moment, No, there is no one that you're putting on the NPC promo to promote the game at wide receiver. That's
JT
Sam
has
Hart.
been that guy.
That when have you seen Jaden Thomas on an NBC promo? When?
Leading up to the game, I mean, he had a couple highlights.
No. When have you seen a promotion for the next upcoming game and Jaden Thomas was the picture on that promo? When?
He had a couple lead. I don't know, but
No.
he's
reaching
our
with
number one
5
receiver.
fouls. Say it again.
He's our number one receiver.
Is he?
So what is? I mean, who is
Is he?
going into the game? Who's our
Does
number one
he?
receiver?
This is the honest question. Does he have a better connection with Sam Hartman and Jaden Greathouse? It's an honest question for me. Does he have a better connection with the quarterback than Jaden Greathouse? That's an honest question.
I don't know. Listen, it's still early. So
Look, you asked me a question about Cam Williams. You said you didn't know he was as big and dominant. And all I'm telling you, I don't care if it's Rico. I don't care if it's Rico. I don't care if it's Chris Tyree getting an extra year. I don't care if it's Jaden Thomas. I don't care who it is. Somebody's going to have to get up from the left side of the table and move to the other side when Cam Williams comes into that room.
and you're saying it don't matter.
When Zach Branch walked in, what do you think they said? What do you think that wide receiver coach said?
But they got some good receivers in there already. They got the Mario Loop running.
It didn't matter. When Zach Branch walked in the room this summer, what did the wide receiver coach at USC say? Hey, I'm gonna need y'all to get up. Go to the other side of the table.
See, we'll see what that looks like when they play an actual good team.
Oh, here we go.
When they play,
Now,
they don't play.
Now we got to see it against. Now we got to see talent against good teams. That's what we got to do. Lucky Lefty podcast. I'm excited because things are looking up offensively, and there's some great talent at the skill positions pouring into South Bend. So Notre Dame fans, whoever you are on social media, going back and forth with Ohio State fans, continue to do so. Continue to give them hell. It's beautiful to watch. It's absolutely beautiful and amazing to watch. Let them talk their trash. Let them talk their trash. But yes, it is absolutely amazing that we get to watch this offense develop and get better from Tennessee State to North Carolina State to Central Michigan on into the big game against Ohio State and South Bend. Got to let it develop piece by piece, percentage by percentage of allowing the offense to open up and blossom like a beautiful flower, man. And hopefully what we're going to see is an offense so multifaceted that it's going to give a lot of defenses hell this year. You know what time it is.
Petticoat, Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
and fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty historic? Petty Junction.
Petty Junction, Petty Story of the Day brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. Hey, man, this dude, Noah Lyles, I know he's been the 200-meter champion. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Like, what's your gripe? I know you didn't like Kevin Durant trying to say NBA champions aren't world champions, but what are you really saying, man? Like, the NBA literally, the MVP and the champion, the best two players on the championship team this year were literally from Canada and Europe. The best two players. The NBA is the pinnacle of the world playing in a league. The pinnacle. And now you want to question? I would probably say the NBA and the NHL are like the two leagues that are the pinnacle of international play within the league. Who cares that the games are played in the United States? They're the world champs. You're the world champs. It's the best players from around the world. That's what it is. And it's apples and oranges, dude. You talk about a league and getting teams and putting schedules together where you have to fly across ocean. You know how much work that takes? Dude, all you have to do is fly to one location and everybody come there and run around a track. It's apples and oranges. What are you talking about? You have the nerve to get on a pedestal like you're doing something better? Like your gold medal, your world championship is worth more? What are you talking about? You're comparing yourself as an individual to teams that have to be formed, organizations that have to be formed around the world, and then you have to get scheduling done. What are you talking about? I'm trying to figure out, number one, your logic, and number two, why you felt the urge to try and elevate what you do. Why are you comparing yourself as a single man to a team sport? It's just you. The World Championship, you're running for you. It's not the Olympics. You're not running for your country in the World Championship. You just happen to be from the United States. But you're a goofball if you don't recognize that the NHL and the NBA are the biggest representatives within a league sourced in the United States and Canada. And have every right to call themselves world champions. The NBA is so dope that some of the best players from countries come here, can't crack the rotation, and go back to Europe. Rudy Fernandez. Rudy Fernandez was cold for Spain for years. Came over here and couldn't crack rotations. And went back to Europe with his tail in between his legs. But you want to question whether or not the NBA and the level of talent should be called world champions? As I said before, the two best players on the world champions were from Canada and Europe. What are we talking about? The NBA is the world. The NHL is the world. What are we talking about? Heck, Major League Baseball. If you want to keep it a buck with the influx of Cubans, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, China, Japan. What are we talking about, man? Being a world champ has nothing to do with flying across the continent and playing games somewhere else. Who is participating in the league? The last I checked, Major League Baseball, the NHL, and the NBA have the world participating, the best in the world. It's apples to oranges, man. What are you talking about? And honestly, seeing the Euro League champion against the NBA champion is going to be like watching these expanded college football playoffs when they go to 12. You're going to see some of these matchups be a waste of time with these 12th, 11th, and 10th seeds. Watch. It's going to be a waste of time. It's going to be a huge waste of time. Throw Jerry Reinsdorf and the White Sox on the petty train again. Friday night, 3 young ladies were shot at the White Sox game. How a gun got into guaranteed rape, I have no clue. The authorities asked the White Sox, listen, 3 young ladies were shot in the stands at Guaranteed Rate Field on Friday night during the game. The authorities asked the White Sox to stop the game. Obviously, the authorities thought the threat was that bad. And the White Sox said no. The White Sox had 3 young ladies with injuries from gunshots in the stands during a game. A meaningless game against the Oakland A's. Were asked by authorities to stop the game. And Jerry Reinsdorf and the White Sox said no. And continued the game. I'm not making this up. Not making this up. Then Jerry Reinsdorf the next day had the nerve to release 3 sites for a new stadium. Arlington Heights, where the Bears are trying to move, near the United Center, and the Soldier Field site, if the Bears indeed move. And people wonder why the Chicago Bears, why Jerry Reinsdorf and all of his organizations are the laughing stock. You can't make this stuff up, people. Can't. Craziest thing. Lucky Lefty podcast. Man. Lock in with us. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll get into more from Marcus Freeman's press conference today. And we'll continue to build the Tennessee State. Might get a guest on from the Tennessee State side of things to talk about Eddie George and the Tigers and what they bring to South Bend. We love you guys. Appreciate you. Do us a favor. Hit the like button. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Audio edibles each and every day on CFB Nation. Thank you, Marvin Bell. Thank you to everybody. Marquise Lofton, everybody that gave us kudos. My guy Roger Dodger out there, USC fan. Good to see you. Good to see all of you guys, man. Enjoy this. Enjoy this. Enjoy what we saw and what we'll continue to see as we continue to develop and lead up to these big games later on the schedule. We appreciate you guys. For Malik, I'm Shaun Davis. We bid you adieu until tomorrow. Have a great day, but most of all, make sure that you spend it differently.